Hey, how's it going, Zach? I wanted to talk to you guys about something today, because you know I try to share a lot of information, and I stand on the backs of some pretty big giants and like new and new research. So I share a lot of stuff, and like people's initial reaction is to go find some study to disprove me, and I said this yesterday. Like there's a study for pretty much everything. But you know what I just you can't put so much weight in the studies, and there's a few reasons why. I challenge you to try things and to see if they work. And the reason, man, it's 104 degrees right now. The reason is because we never had the diseases we have until we started studying our health, right? Human beings are the only species on the planet that need to be told what to eat, right? Every other species knows what they're supposed to eat, and they just eat that, right? There's no they don't need to be told, And the more that we dive into this, like studies and the research and the oh, this is good for me, this is bad for me, and the less we move away from what's appropriate inside, like what we feel is good for us and what actually feels good, the more lost and the more sick and the more helpless we become. I mean, it's just blatantly obvious to me. A lot of the research and stuff that I'm finding and putting together and sharing with you guys. I don't just share it because somebody said it, and that didn't show me any of the stuff behind it, right? A lot of it's complicated, and I don't think that you'd really understand. But I can tell you with certainty, humans are hypercarnivores. We are supposed to be eating meat. When we deviate from that plan, we get sick. Look around you. Go to the grocery store. Everybody looks like shit. There's bags under their eyes. They're all fat and overweight, and they're pushing around their little carts full of juice and fucking sugar, and it's like you're our doctors are lying to us. They're trying to tell people that they should reach an A1C of 6 or 7 or whatever, and it's like, dude, no, you should be in the fours. You should not have a blood sugar that stays above 100 all day long. That is absolutely ridiculous. Even when I eat a full meal, I never get over like 89, right? Blood sugar causes elevated insulin for long periods of time causes problems, right? And you know, we the studies that tell us that cholesterol is bad, and that yes, cholesterol plays a part in like atherosclerosis and heart disease, but all causes of disease are from elevated insulin constantly, because we're not designed to eat stuff that spikes our insulin. You should have very, very small spikes of insulin when you eat meat, right? And we really shouldn't even be eating meat without fat. So lean pieces of meat like chicken is terrible. It's really not good for you. It still spikes your insulin. Protein shakes, not good for you. It super spikes your insulin because it's already got the protein broken down. I've noticed this myself. If I have a protein shake, even with collagen protein, which is bovine collagen protein, it spikes my insulin. My blood sugar goes up to close to 100. That is, and I've cut it out. That's it. It's done. Right. I'm not eating cheese anymore. That spikes it to like 10 or 15 points. But I challenge, like, everybody's like, if you're just every time, studies are not done to inform. They're done to manipulate behavior 100% of the time. Somebody's setting out to prove a point, right? And it's basic particle physics. The observer has a bias no matter what, because they have an idea about what's real or what's not real. So if you can't listen to the studies, you have to listen to what's going on around you. And everyone is sick. Everyone has high A1C. Everyone has high fasting insulin levels, except for me, right? And a few other people that are carnivores, or people that are keto. There's nothing wrong with keto. I think keto is fine. Keto for me worked for a few years. I did a few years ago. I just got too skinny because I wasn't eating any meat, and I was still eating plants and toxins, and my stomach got messed up. That's the thing, is that plants have these toxins. We know that they exist. We know that they're in there, and they will disrupt your gut microbiome. They will just disrupt your gut in general. They don't want to be eaten. We like, why do we think that plants want to be eaten? Plants use chemical warfare to prevent themselves from being eaten. It's so blatantly obvious, and we were told by our government, however many years ago, and the people that told us what we're supposed to eat, like fruits and vegetables, Those weren't health advocates. They were logistical people that worked in some company somewhere. Okay? Everything you think you know about what you're supposed to eat is wrong. I promise you, it is wrong. Absolutely. The results that I've seen, the other thing is like you always hear, oh, ketogenic diet cures, epilepsy. Ketogenic diet, cures this. It gets, low, fasting cures cancer and all these different things. It's the writing is on the wall. Those ketogenic diets, which is a carnivore diet. You are in ketosis. A carnivore diet is our primary diet. It's not that the diet cures the disease. It's that any deviation from our natural diet will cause disease. It's so obvious. How much more how much more do you need to like that to me? This particular type of diet, ketogenic, high fat, low carbs, which really means low plants. And the plants that you do eat are like fibrous, so they're not really edible. Fiber is not edible to humans. We can't even break it down. Another reason why we don't need it. Okay? They say, oh, your bacteria need it. Bullshit. We don't know what the fuck our bacteria need. That's just made up. We don't need fiber. I haven't had fiber in 8 months. I shit every day. Perfect shits, big, like nice, like whole, like perfect poops. My wife calls. My wife's a doctor. We talk about poop. So, like you've never had poop as good as mine. And I'm, 37. I have a history of Crohn's disease. Back when I used to eat plants. I'm not bullshitting you, man. Like, it's not the ketogenic diets cure disease. It's that's our appropriate diet, so disease goes away. How much more do you need to see? These doctors are so stupid. Oh, this and this hospital has a ketogenic clinic and it's used to cure epilepsy. No, epilepsy is caused by an inappropriate diet. Anything that ketogenic diet cures just puts the writing on the wall. We're not supposed to eat this shit. That's why everybody's sick. And I'm trying to help you, right? I'm not even that nice of a guy. I'm actually not. Like I'm an asshole trying to help you because I care about the human, people in general, like just humans, right? So I'm going out of my way to try to like show this information. People always want to argue. I don't give a shit, dude. You look like shit. I know I don't, right? I don't really care what you eat. I want to help you. Arguing about it and like saying, I had some lady who had a degree in fucking, in I don't know, she was a zoologist or some animal something. She had a bachelor's degree. She's like, oh, my degree means nothing. I was like, no, it really does, because the new data is what matters, right? You can be educated in whatever you want to be educated, and that doesn't mean that you're right. If somebody gives you wrong information and you repeat that 20,000 times, it doesn't make it any more right, right? Yeah, you just ketogenic state is our primary metabolic state, and you can do that with meat. We are not designed to eat plants. Anytime that you eat something that's plant-based, you are pushing yourself towards insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is the cause, for sure, of every chronic disease in today's society. That's idiopathic. Like, we don't know what causes heart. Like, there's some diseases that are, caused by, pathogen or something like that. But if it's idiopathic, which I think means you have to be a fucking idiot not to see why. If it's idiopathic, which technically means we don't know what causes it, autoimmune diseases, diabetes. Like we know what causes heart disease now, and and they don't want you to know, because you're still feeding their system. You're still buying their drugs. You're still buying their fucking products. You're still buying their shit with a package that has canola oil and wheat and all this shit in it. Everything that's in your food is poison. And the vegetables are no better. I'm telling you, they're no better. You can survive on a 100% meat diet. I'm doing it. My skin looks great. My energy levels are up. My sex drive is through the roof. My wife's doing it. She's a naturopath. They're like basically vegans when they come out of school, right? They just pound it into them, vegetables and blah, blah, blah. No, you need zero vegetables. There's nothing in a vegetable that you need that you can't get from plants. That you can't get from meat, right? Absolutely nothing. There's not one essential nutrient that you cannot get from meat or some source that in the animal world that's not more easily digestible or more bioavailable in its meat-based form. Okay, these are just facts, and it's hard, vegans, and dude, vegans are fucking stupid, like the only thing I can do with the vegans, like, listen, I'll just snap you in half because you're just being stupid and you can't fucking see the writing on the wall. I get it. You think you're better than me. I hurt animals because they eat meat. No, I just like to survive. And, all animals are going to die. We know this, But I just ask you to just stop with the, don't look for a study to tell you what to eat, right? We don't need a study to tell us what to eat. What feels good? What brings health? What brings vitality? What makes you, what feels right? You know? Like vegans, there's no carnivore anywhere that's sneaking kale, but there's tons of vegans out there that are sneaking meat and lying and getting caught, and like there's all these studies out there. You're never gonna see me in the corner hiding eating fucking kale because kale's disgusting, right? It's disgusting. It's always been disgusting. You got to put a bunch of shit on it just to hide the fact that it's fucking, it's nasty. It's not good. Nobody wants to eat that shit. You know. But I really just I try to help. I want to help. I want you to feel and to be able to live. Like I know for a fact in my heart of hearts and everything that I have found and studied, humans are supposed to live to 120 years old. They talk about it in the Bible. We know that humans lived for that long before us. Our lifespans have gotten shorter because they're taking advantage of us for profit. Okay? That's it. You're being taken advantage of for profit. And it's difficult, I know, right? You're so used to eating this, you're so used to that, but you're going to die early. And you have a chance to do it. And none of this information has ever been out before. And the people that are telling you what to do, they're not doing it for a reward. We're not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for money. I don't get paid anything. I got a few affiliate links. It's made me like, I don't know, a couple, not even $100, right? I didn't do it for that. I just did it. One, I mean, I can use it for myself and promote to my family and friends. But people that I care about, I'll yell at them. You are not supposed to be eating plants. There are things that you can do to a plant, like cook the shit out of it or ferment it or whatever to make them less toxic. But why should I have to do something to my food to make it less toxic? You know what I don't have to do to meat? I don't even have to cook it. Right? I don't. There's no reason. You don't actually have to cook meat. I've eaten raw steak, raw ribeye. I've done it before. It's not that big of a deal. There's a guy on Instagram, Raw Meat Experiment. He's been eating raw fucking testicles head to toe, like all kinds of shit for I don't know 200 plus days. He goes into a Whole Foods, buys some sort of raw something, comes outside, sits at the table, videotapes him eating it. He eats the whole thing. Tongue, I saw him eat a tongue the other day. I mean, some of it's gross, but the fact is that he's still alive. He wears his shirts that says, "I'm still alive." Right? Just question, don't be so quick to be like, "Oh, let me find a study that proves my point," because those studies are there to manipulate you. They were there to manipulate behavior. They're not there to educate you. For a fact, every person has a bias. So the controller of the test has some influence on the outcome, right? We know that the observer has an effect on what's observed. This is particle physics, basics. Okay? This is known. So just do what feels right in your heart. I mean, I know for a fact I'd be dead if I wasn't carnivore. If I wouldn't have figured this out, So I'm thankful. And because of that, I want to put that out there. I want to help other people. And I have. I've had many people reach out to me and say, "Man, I've had high blood pressure for 20, 30 years. It's gone. It's going back down. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling good. My energy's up." And they're not even really doing 100% carnivore. They don't really know what they've gotten themselves into. And I challenge people to just try to just push yourself a little bit more. And you don't know how good you could feel. And I'm here to help. I want to help people. I want them to see what's out there and available. And I'll do anything I can to help. And I'm not doing it for any other reason other than I'm grateful for what I've discovered. And there's people out there that don't want you to do well. And they would have taken that from me, my kids and my wife and everything else and everything. I've done a lot of stupid stuff in my life. Don't get me wrong. I've treated myself and other people like trash before, and a lot of that probably has to do with your food choices and how stuff. I mean, it's mental illness. It's like veganism is a mental illness. It's an eating disorder. It absolutely is. It's so unnatural and so far removed from anything that we're supposed to be doing. But it's really hot and I'm sweating, but I just had to get that out because I I want what's best for you guys, and I will argue with you, right? I was always good at arguing, and if you attack me, you better have your guns blazing, because I'm gonna attack you back, right? I don't If you fight me, I'm gonna fight. You better have your knowledge. You better come equipped, because you're not just gonna fight me because you think you know everything, right? I'm challenging you to question what you know. I'm not telling you I know more than you. I'm saying that what you know is wrong, and there's more out there. All right, we'll talk to you guys another time.